My sister helped my fiancée cheat on me during her bachelorette party. Why? To get back at me, for defending my best friend when she cheated on him. And now, she's helping my ex pay for the wedding. The wedding is in 4 days. I was supposed to spend tonight writing our vows. Instead, I'm sitting here, reading old messages from my sister. Messages that basically confirm she set up my fiancé to cheat during her bachelorette weekend. As revenge. Revenge against me. Because 3 years ago, I supported my best friend after she cheated on him. I didn't cut him off, so now she's balancing the scales like this. I'm 28. Anais, my fiancée, is 29. We've been together for 5 years. She's always had a close, though kind of weird, bond with my older sister, Nina. Like some sort of trauma bond or shared secrets thing. Back in 2021, Nina cheated on my best friend. They'd been together for 5 years. She was caught texting a coworker behind his back, and things ended badly. Nina completely fell apart. Her grudge against me? That I didn't cut ties with him. He's been my best friend since high school. And on top of that, I told her what she did was messed up. Nina never forgave me. She said I chose some idiot over my own family. I thought we had moved on. Clearly, we hadn't. Earlier this year, Anaïs's bachelorette weekend. I trusted her. Nina offered to plan nearly everything so Anaïs wouldn't get too stressed. I even joked, just make sure it doesn't get out of hand. Nina smiled and said, no promises. Now I find out they brought a stripper or whatever to the Airbnb. Apparently, things got out of hand. And by got out of hand, I mean Anaïs slept with him. In the bathroom. While everyone else was still there. Was she drunk? Yes. But not passed out. She was fully conscious. Fully willing. Those are Nina's own words, from her text messages. How did I find out? My best friend. Yeah, same guy Nina cheated on. Apparently, a few days ago, Nina got drunk and told a friend what happened during the party. That friend is dating one of my friend's co-workers. The rumor spread fast. My best friend called me immediately. He said, I didn't want to be the one to tell you, but bro, your fiancée cheated on you during her bachelorette party. And your sister planned the whole thing. At first, I didn't believe him. I honestly thought it was a joke. But I stayed calm and confronted Anaïs. She denied everything. Swore nothing happened. Over and over. I only asked one question. If I check Nina's phone right now, will I see anything that proves you're lying? She froze. Then came the tears. And then, she admitted something happened. But she said it wasn't that bad. I pushed for details. She admitted she kissed the stripper. Maybe he gave her oral. But she doesn't remember everything. Yeah. That's what my fiancé calls, not that bad. That's not something you just move on from. I was about to marry this woman. I asked if Nina knew. Anaïs said Nina was outside with the other girls when it happened. So I messaged Nina. Just one question. Hey, seriously, was there anything that happened at the bachelorette I should know about? Her reply. You mean besides your girl getting some attention from someone who actually knows how to make a woman feel wanted? As I was reading that, another message popped in. Guess karma's a bitch, huh? Maybe next time, pick blood over brothers. I haven't replied. I don't even know what I'd say. Anaïs keeps trying to talk. She swears it wasn't planned. Says she didn't mean for it to go that far. Claims she thought I cheated on her with my ex last year. That's not true. But you know what's worse? Even if she believed I had cheated, she still wanted to marry me. As long as she could get her payback with some random guy at her party. This morning, I cancelled the catering. I haven't called my parents. Haven't spoken to hers either. Though at this point, I probably won't need to. I'm just glad I was cautious. Had a prenup written up 6 months ago. She threw a fit. Said it wasn't necessary. I made her sign it anyway. It would have come in handy if we'd actually gotten married before I learned all this. Honestly, I'm thankful my best friend had my back. Because if it weren't for him, I'd be 4 days away from marrying a cheater. Update 1. Alright. You wanted an update, so here it is. Let me walk you through what happened after I made that first post. And fair warning. If you regret reading this later, that's on you. Let's just say, revenge has officially begun. First, I reached out to my cousin. She was at the bachelorette party too. We're not super close. But unlike the others, she's not in Nina's little clique. I asked her directly. Hey, I know something happened at that party. I'm not trying to start drama. I just need the truth. Please. She replied 2 hours later. I didn't think it was my place to say anything. But yeah. Something happened. And then she told me the real story. Apparently, Nina was egging Anais on the whole time. Literally whispering things like, "Come on, it's just one night of freedom. He's never going to find out." Disgusting. But wait, it gets worse. My cousin then sent me a voice recording. Captured right in the middle of the party. You can hear music, laughter from the girls. And then, clear as day, Nina's voice. "It's not cheating if it's before the rings, babe. You deserve one last adventure. Let him deal with it. You need a little something too." I kept all of it. Because I was already planning how to use it. Update 2. It's been a few days. And no, I haven't just been sitting around. I'm not the kind of guy who waits for things to resolve themselves. No. I made things worse. Deliberately. I dropped all the evidence into 2 group chats. One for my family. One with our mutual friends. I didn't say a word. Just posted the proof. Left the chats. And let the fire spread on its own. First casualty? Nina. My mom called 12 hours later. Furious. Not at me. At Nina. Turns out, Nina had told my parents a completely different version of what happened. She said Anais just kissed the stripper. Nothing serious. And that she, Nina, was the first one to tell Anais it was wrong. According to her, the real issue was me. Because I was panicking about commitment. She played the victim, hard. Until they heard the audio. Her voice was clear. Saying, "It's not cheating if it's before the rings." That broke my mom. She had always been upset about what Nina did to my best friend. But she had held on to hope. Maybe Nina confronting Anais had meant she changed. Turns out, not so much. My mom told me she felt physically sick. She also told Nina she was no longer welcome at family Christmas. Said, "If you want to act like an enemy, then you can live like one." I didn't even ask her to do that. Didn't have to. Nina brought it on herself. Honestly? Best Christmas gift ever. Then came the fallout on Anais's side. Her maid of honor. Who didn't attend the bachelorette because her kid had a fever. Unfollowed her publicly. Then she posted a story that said, word for word, "I was supposed to be maid of honor for a cheating rat." And she knew how much it hurt me. When my ex did something like this. Apparently, Anais had told her that I was losing my mind over a harmless little party game. And that I just wanted a reason to cancel the wedding. Yeah. That lie didn't last. Next came the Airbnb owner. He sent me a furious message. Not only did they break the house rules, by bringing in outside entertainment. But they left used condoms in the bathroom trash. And food all over the floors. Looks like Anais wasn't the only one who got some that night. Though it's entirely possible all of them were hers. He's now filing a damage claim. I told him I'd cover everything, since I rented the place. But that I was suing my sister and ex-fiancée. And he might be a great witness. Meanwhile, Anais is in full meltdown mode. She tried calling my boss. Told him I was abusive and who knows what else. One small problem. My boss is my uncle. He already knew the full story. He told her to delete his number. Then he called me laughing. Saying Anais was either desperate, or stupid. Probably both. She's too late to spin the story now. The receipts speak louder than any of her desperate excuses. Between the voice memo from my cousin, the Airbnb owner's statement, and the messages from Anais, I've spent the last week collecting every shred of evidence. Every message. Every DM. Every screenshot. Every photo and video from that weekend. My cousin was especially helpful. At least now we know whose condoms weren't in the trash. She even sent me screenshots of Nina bragging in a group chat 2 days after the party. Not saying I'm a genius. But Operation Balance the Scales was a success. I think my brother finally knows what betrayal feels like. That's what she called it. Operation Balance the Scales. A fitting name. Because now, it matches mine. I'm calling it Operation Justice. Or, more dramatically, justice will strike them both in the face. Like they deserve. For being cheaters and idiots. I know, it's a long name. But it's easy to remember. The funniest part? Anais is now trying to blame everything on Nina. Saying she was manipulated. Right. Like I'm going to believe Nina forced her to sleep with someone. What, did she sneak in and swap the condoms mid-act? I asked Anais. So which is it? Are you a liar or a puppet? Pick one. Nothing she says makes her look good. She's trapped between looking like a fool or looking like a worthless cheater. The most revealing part? Someone recorded Nina pouring shots while yelling, "Team Bride. No regrets." Anais was sitting on the stripper's lap, while he groped her chest over her dress. So much for being manipulated. Zoom in. Enhance the video. Maybe you'll see the puppet strings. Maybe not. Use your imagination. This Saturday was supposed to be the wedding brunch. Instead of canceling it, I sent a new invite. Wedding cancelled. Brunch you won't want to miss. Everyone's coming. Friends. Aunts. Cousins. Even the pets. Even my best friend, Nina's ex, confirmed he'll be there. Apparently, he wants a front row seat to the explosion. Hi. I'm working on a new presentation. This time with better editing. More scandal. More footage. It's the director's cut. New scenes. Bonus content. This isn't revenge porn. But someone's about to get F***ed. I mean someone's definitely getting screwed. Update 3. The brunch was yesterday. I didn't sleep much the night before. Nerves about my presentation. Hi, this is my submission. I stayed up late editing the footage. I just couldn't stop adding new stuff. New transitions, new effects. Maybe a remix with my sister's voice. Or clips showing her lies exposed by audio and video. The Godfather Part 2 looked like an indie short next to mine. I know I'm biased. But there was love, drama, comedy, horror, suspense. All packed into 10 minutes of cinematic perfection. When I walked into my parents' house, where the brunch was held, everything looked like a normal family gathering. Folding tables, a mimosa bar, awkward hugs. But there was something else in the air. A sense of celebration. Because my family was celebrating with me. Celebrating that I was free from all this. Nina was already there. Not invited by me, of course. I guess she showed up hoping to do some damage control. Maybe she thought I wouldn't really say anything. Maybe this was her last desperate shot to stop things from getting worse. Spoiler alert. It didn't work. I stood by the fireplace and said, "Thank you all for coming." This brunch was supposed to be a wedding celebration. Instead, it's a funeral for the version of my life I thought I had. And a celebration for the one I'm about to begin. Then I played the movie. It had everything. Yes, including credits. Thanking everyone who provided footage and info. And yes, there was even a post-credits scene. Look, I was inspired. Things might have gotten a little out of hand. Some people found it funny. Although that might have been the mimosas talking. But hey, if you want your film to win an Oscar, you've got to get the jury a little drunk. When it ended, the room was dead silent. Until my aunt, Nina's biggest defender, turned to her and said, "You planned this?" Nina tried to respond. Said she was just joking in those texts. That no one forced Anais to do anything. That it had all been blown out of proportion. But the footage told a different story. Then my best friend stood up. He said, "I've made a lot of mistakes, Nina. But breaking up with you was one of the best decisions I ever made. You're toxic. And you deserve to be alone. You did this to my friend. Just because he defended me when you cheated. I hope life gives you what you deserve." Nina turned bright red. She left 5 minutes later. The best part? Neither Nina nor Anais knows yet that I'm suing them. So if they're already embarrassed by the social fallout, wait until it becomes legal. I'm going to get back every last penny they cost me. It'll be another heavy blow. But it's one they earned. By playing stupid games. I might even quote them in court. It's not cheating if it's before the rings. Update 4. Hey. I'm writing this after Nina and Anais found out their nightmare isn't over. Because I'm suing them. For all the money they made me lose over this wedding. To summarize. They're not thrilled about it. Both of them want to just move on and put the past behind us. Which I'll gladly do. After I get every cent back. Since the brunch, I haven't spoken to Anais. Or Nina. Or anyone, really, unless they had receipts to offer. Anais's mom did call. She said Anais hasn't gotten out of bed in days. Crying non-stop, wondering how things got so bad. Let me help you out. You slept with a stripper. In a bathroom. At your own bachelorette party. Then you blamed my sister. Said she manipulated you. Before deleting our shared Google Calendar. Where we'd stored every important wedding event. I added one last all-day reminder for next Saturday. You traded 5 years, a home, and a future. For 20 minutes with a guy. Who didn't even follow you back on Instagram. Then I logged out for good. Nina has been cut off by most of the family. Even our mom told her she's not welcome again. Until pigs learn to fly. And now, the part where they find out about the lawsuit. First up, my sister. She received official court documents. Along with a polite suggestion to find a good lawyer. We're suing her for part of the wedding expenses. Since she's equally responsible for its cancellation. Plus for the Airbnb damages. Including the cleanup and aftermath. Of her idiotic operation. Her reaction? She went crying on social media. posted about how she couldn't believe her own brother was suing her. But guess what? The internet didn't side with her. I don't think I saw a single comment in her favor. Lots of criticism, some polite. Others, not so much. There were even replies with tiny violin emojis. And fake crying faces. She deleted the post within a few hours. Then she asked our parents for help. Money for a lawyer, maybe a referral. They told her that would be a conflict of interest, since they were supporting me in the lawsuit. They said my case looked a whole lot more just. Eventually, we heard from her attorney. They wanted to settle. She was willing to pay 30% of what we're demanding from her. Plus she offered to cover the Airbnb cleaning bill. My lawyer told her lawyer to buy a nice tie. Unless she was ready to pay everything, including legal fees. Anaïs's reaction was different, but not by much. She didn't post online. Instead, she tried reaching out to me. And to some mutual friends. Tried appealing to the love we had. And the fact that she doesn't have much money. Said paying would bury her in even more debt. On top of her student loans. I told her I was considering reducing my claim by 10%. That's the amount of love she showed me when she was swinging from Tarzan's vine. That was the stripper's costume, by the way. She's tried to gather sympathy from anyone who wasn't openly mad at her. But the responses ranged from "Pay up and stop bothering me" to "Pay, or it's only going to get worse." Anaïs has now gotten a lawyer of her own. But so far, we haven't received any counteroffer. Maybe she's hoping this'll go to trial. That she'll win somehow. Honestly, it's a brutal situation for everyone. Anaïs will owe thousands she doesn't have for ruining the wedding. Nina will pay a good chunk too. Though not as much as my ex. Meanwhile, my lawyer's biggest concern is which watch to buy with his fees. Once we drain those two leeches dry, this nightmare will finally end. I'm trying to be helpful. Told my lawyer to pick something summary, since the season's changing and he'll get more use out of it. Now we wait. Either this gets resolved in court, or we get a full settlement. Only agreement I'm accepting is full payment. After that, we'll deal with legal fees, which will be a whole lot higher if we go to trial. And everyone knows, good lawyers like to eat caviar on court days. If I were them, I'd settle fast before my lawyer starts shopping. Update 5. I've got the 2 checks. One from my ex, and one from my sister. Printed and hanging on my apartment wall. Well, copies. The originals were deposited right away. They covered all my expenses and paid my lawyer's fees in full. Let me tell you how it all went down. My ex finally handed over a check to settle. She had to take out a loan just to pay me and avoid going to trial. That part was easy, for us, anyway. Not for her. Because she's going to be paying back that loan with some hefty interest. Since her credit score was, let's say, not great. Not that I care. It's not my loan. Her lawyer handed the check to mine, along with a letter addressed to me. I accepted the check. Then asked my lawyer to read the letter and let me know if it contained anything worth my time. According to his professional opinion, it wasn't even worth dulling his letter opener. I asked, would I at least want to hear the summary? He said, only if you want your ears to be dirty afterward. Now my sister. She didn't want to settle. She wanted to go to trial. So that's exactly what we gave her. We had a court hearing. And after reviewing everything, the judge ruled in our favor. Nina was ordered to pay for everything, including my attorney's legal fees. My lawyer decided it was a necessary expense to fly out the Airbnb owner for 3 days. All expenses paid, so he could testify in person. Guess who got to foot the bill for that? Yep, my sister. In the end, she had to sell her car and cash out her 401k to cover the judgment. During the hearing, she didn't look happy. She sat there the whole time, with her face twisted in bitterness, watching her grand operation blow up in spectacular failure. When it was all over, I tried to be the bigger person. I said, "No hard feelings." Her response, "You only say that because you ruined me." She wasn't wrong. So I smiled and said, "You're right. My sister still hasn't received a single invitation from anyone in the family. She says she won't attend any event where I'll be present. But the truth is, no one's invited her to anything anyway. Which is better. Now she has more time to plan her next big operation. I'm broke. What now?" I think that's a pretty great place to end this story. At least it is for me.